Hello and thanks for joining me for this card tutorial. So last night I did a live on Facebook and went over these couple of cards, but I wanted to do another video sharing some other ideas. I got cut short because of my streaming software not quite working right. So there were some others that I wanted to share. So there's this one, and it basically uses this same technique with that really cool layering vellum that is on sale right now. So here's the one that I did live, and then here's just a really simple one that I did with a die cut and layering up some paper crumb cake and early espresso with some ribbon. And then this was polished pink that I kind of I used some Sahara sand to kind of knock down the brightness of that pink. But another great thing that is on sale right now are the Eden dies. And so I wanted to show you how I created this card, and then I have some other ideas for how to use one sheet wonders. I think that I pretty much copied this almost exactly, although at this point I cannot really remember. I know that I was really sick last year and spent some time just going through Artful Stampin's videos and trying to get better at doing these background collage papers. So I wanted to use a couple of them tonight to make some cards using the Eden dies also. I can definitely say that the Eden dies are not something that I have used enough of. All right, so here's some of that fun layering vellum, and then this is the see, what are these called? This package is Lovely Layers, which are pre-cut. So if you like using vellum, then hopefully this video will inspire you. And if you don't like using vellum, I'm thinking, well, why not? You should probably try to start using it more. It adds such beautiful interest to your cards. So I am trying to find a piece of Blushing Bride. There is a piece that's going to be my card base, and then I need to see this card to remind myself. I need a piece of, it was one of the gray ones, and I need to see which one it was. I believe this is gray granite. Yeah, gray granite for that really like wreathy looking border. And then I know I used Coastal Cabana. I can get a smaller sheet of Coastal Cabana out here out of this pile. And then I'll need some basic white as well. So I keep my papers all on the other side of the room, so that's why I have some pre-cut pieces. All right, so let me bring over the big shot and get these stamp sets out of the way. Let's see if I can give myself a little more room here so you can see. You'll also see more of my very messy desk. Okay, so I have the platform, and then plate 2, and then I have the sandwich plates that are the 3s. So I'll grab this piece of Coastal Cabana, and I need the Eden dies. So like I said, these are on sale until tomorrow. So I need that one. Let's see if I can fit this on there as well. I don't think that I'll be able to. Of course, maybe if I cut this down, I will be able to fit them. Of course, I can be a little more strategic, right? So there is that one. And this basic gray needs to be cut down, so excuse me while I cut this down. to 5.5. On there like that, and a piece of basic white. Looks like that needs to be cut down too. I either have pieces that are too big or too small. So this should work. It's nice to know that if I wanted to mass produce this, that I could get all of my cuts that I needed on one pass through. That's always a handy thing. The other items on the card is a punch. The other item on the card is a punch. So I am going to do this twice. So I'm going to go forward and back because of the intricacy of these die cuts. That middle greeting probably doesn't need it, but uh-oh, that one moved. Let's see how this turned out. Beautiful. Beautiful. And beautiful. Oh, that didn't move. That's wonderful. Good, good, good. Okay. So let me set aside those scraps and stick these dies back in the envelope. Oh, before I do, let me just drop them. Oh, did you see the pieces go flying? That was a little bit unexpected, but that is a trick I learned from watching another YouTuber. I couldn't tell you who. Sorry for the noise, but it gets all of the pieces out and it gets them out quickly, which is nice. I don't know if there were any in there. So the light in my room for making videos is really strange at night, so I have most of the lights off, and I'm going with minimal lighting at my desk. All right, so this is really, once everything is together and you have your die cuts, it's actually a pretty simple card. I'll grab my bone folder. And I think I might need to cut another piece of this vellum. Okay. Used up all of my favorite pieces of this. Yeah. Of course, the map might not look too bad either, but I'm going to stick with the way I did the card earlier. And it was this vellum piece right here that shows the script writing in different directions. I think that is just gorgeous. So trim that to 3 3/4 by 5. And then I will need another scrap piece of white. So I guess I'll just use this, the piece that I already cut off of, to, oops, don't want to put that on there the wrong way. All right, let's get these little pieces out of here. So this is a I don't know what the name of it is, but it removes these little tiny pieces from your die cuts. It is a super handy tool when you get these die cuts that are super intricate. So I would prefer to be doing this live so I can chat with you while I'm working and can answer your questions, but I'm having major challenges when it comes to doing live, so I'm just gonna have to record and upload. There we go. All right, so the way this is going to be adhered is I'm going to adhere it to the front of that vellum and then to my card, kind of hiding the adhesive. So I was feeling color challenged recently and decided to, on Sunday when we were waiting for my son to get done with his Sunday school class, we had already been to church and I was done with my singing. I went on Pinterest and downloaded a bunch of color combinations. They weren't even Stampin' Up, but they were just inspirational color combinations. And if you want to follow me on Pinterest, then you could go to my color combinations board and see what I'm talking about. If you want to follow me on Pinterest, the link to my page would be in the helpful links section in the description of this video. If you see at the bottom of the, like right below the title of the video, there's like, I don't know, 3 dots, or it says more, the word more. And I can come in a little bit more now. You can see a little more detail of what I'm doing. There we go. Isn't that pretty? A simple greeting on that would be nice, but of course I didn't stop there, did I? Okay, a few little pieces still stuck in here. I'm going to grab a piece of silicone to protect my surface. And then it doesn't really matter if the glue gets off of the die cut. So on Sunday, I think it was, I did a video of hope and prayer and a wish and a fish, a fish and a wish, a fish and a wish is the name of the stamp set. And so this also uses a fish and a wish. And I'll be using the punch as well. So here's the coordinating punch. And here's the stamp set. I already have the stamps mounted up, so I'm going to be using this one and this one. So these are the two that coordinate with the punch. And then the greeting that I'm using is also from that stamp set, and it is called, or what it says is love never fails. So I'm going to use Coastal Cabana on the larger fish. And then Blushing Bride for the smaller fish. And then I'll just cut these pieces of these little fish apart so that I can put them into the punch separately. Toss that into my Whisper White drawer. All right, so our punch has this little lock on the back, and you just push it towards the punch that you see there, and that opens it up. And then where it's still closed is where you slide your pieces in if you were going to punch all at once, but I'm going to be punching these individually, so I'm going to come in from the side, but I'm finding the place where I insert it right there, and then just holding it and looking at it from the back. And as I start to get that fish into position, I just start to lightly squeeze until I have it exactly where I want it, and then punch. So one fish done. And then this one needs to come in from the other side. And the other fish done. Okay, so then you just lock it back up, and they store nicely by stacking or on their side. So the greeting I'm going to stamp in black, Memento ink, and I have tested this a few times. So let's say I'm trying to stamp it right there. Where I think that would go is a little high, so I'm just going to keep that in mind when I stamp on here, and come a little lower than I would expect. Hopefully this works. It's really kind of dark in here, so yeah, that was a little high, but I'm going to stick with it because I don't want to cut another one of those. I struggled with that earlier today, so I'm going to blame it on the nighttime vision in this dark room. The eyes are old after all. So this will be, I think that you could use this card for a wedding card. I think you could use it as an encouragement card, of course. An anniversary card. So that fishy's going to go right there. This greeting's going to go here in the middle. So I'm going to add 3 dimensionals. So this is a little taste of the Eden dies. Do you like them? Do you have them? Do you want them? They're on sale right now for another day until 6:50 Mountain Time. And I actually have the link to the product in my online Stampin' Up! Store. All you have to do is click the link to the product, and it will automatically include my September host code, which makes you eligible for a gift at the end of the month from me, and of course a thank you card. So I'm going to use these Fine Sparkle adhesive back gems. Look under the flap are pink ones. Perfect for this card, and these are perfect as well. So I liked where I placed them before, so I'm just going to try and stick to what I had done earlier, which I probably should put one right there to cover that up. Would it cover it up? I wonder if it would. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, because I did that to cover up my little boo-boo, I'm going to put another one right here, like, hey, they belong there, right? So now I've changed it. So I'm going to put one here, and then another blue one down here by this little guy. And let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Just wanted to make sure that I had an odd number. And that is the card. I haven't done the inside yet, but I think I might just go ahead and wait and see how I want to use this card. What do you think? I love that, what that vellum does to the background. I think it would be a cute card without it, but I don't know. I love it, and I love layers. So, okay, I have another one for you. This card base I decided I was going to do in Bashful Blue. So let me go ahead and get that ready, and then I need to cut down that one sheet wonder that I created a long time ago. So I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna make this slightly larger than the vellum. So this vellum is actually, so I'm cutting this at 4 by 5 1/4. So this vellum is cut to 3 3/4 by 5. And in this package, you get like, I think it's like 30. I got bored of counting, but there are 60 sheets total, and I think half of them are this plain vellum, which is really cool. So that's going to be a slightly smaller, covering that up. And I like this design, but I'm not super in love with it, so that's why I don't mind slightly covering it up. So I have run a piece of that through the time-worn embossing folder, and this is what it came out look, which is super cool. And I'm gonna just stamp a greeting, but I'm also gonna do another one of these flowers, and I think that's polished pink and rich raspberry. So anyway, those are the colors I'm going to use. As you can see, I'm slightly covering them up, so it won't really matter if they're the same. So when you are using this embossing plate, let me just show you. I'm not going to do it again, but you will not use your 3 top. You'll just use the base, and then you will use the number 4. So just the base, number 1 and number 4 with this inside. And then this end right here, the folded end, is what goes in towards the rollers. So in case you didn't know the order, there you go. Alrighty. I think I want to clean up these little fishies before I get out some more ink. I'm gonna restamp that flower, and then there is a die to cut it out. See the greeting as well. Since this is not live, you can fast forward during my cleaning job, right? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the dies that I want. So I'm gonna do that flower, and I'm gonna use this little greeting. I also know that I want to oh, you know what might look cool on here is some of these dots. I think that might look really good, and these are on sale also. Let me back up a little bit. I'm getting I got a little too tight in there, didn't I? There we go. All right, put the fish away, take out the flower. Oh, this is kind of a mess in here. That little fishy is sticking. Be careful when you are pulling those up off of your acrylic blocks, especially if they've been there for a while, which mine have. Yep, computer wants to be plugged in. I can't believe it's not plugged in. Oh, please. Before it turns off. No. Oh, there we go. There we go. Whew. I made it before it just automatically self-destructed. Okay. So the stamp set that I want to use the greeting for is, oops, the big fish. The big fish needs to go away too. He might not be clean. Hopefully I remember that. Happy birthday. Because I know I need more happy birthdays than anything. Because I've gone back to providing the birthday cards for all the staff members, which is really fun. And this one doesn't have a happy birthday. Okay, my white piece again. And I'll just cut off a piece for stamping that. And then this, there are a few little pieces stuck in there. I'll have to remove those before I die cut with this. All right. So what I was doing just there was making sure that I had not moved this a certain direction, because I want to make sure that when I put the die on here, it will cut exactly what I stamped. So that's what I was doing when I was fiddling with that. Okay, so let's grab rich raspberry. And I might as well use that for the happy birthday as well. I should have put my foam underneath me since this is photopolymer. Hopefully that turns out pretty good, pretty good. And then my polished pink. I'm hoping that's the color for these flowers. Ew, I totally did that upside down. You know what? I'm just gonna restamp it. Cause, you know, I can. It's kind of artsy anyway, so there. Of course, we don't know what that is, but all right, let me clean this. Did I stamp that yet? No. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the happy birthday as well. And then I'll try to cut it out straight. I think we can do better. My rich raspberry must be getting a little dry. That's better. Okay, this I can cut out with my mini. Ooh, crash. If, of course, I can find my cutting plates. There they are. Start with one, and then I'll sandwich everything in on the twos. I think I'll have to do these separately because the flower's kind of long. So just trying to get that straight on there. And here's a piece of tape. Oh, that's right. I had little pieces stuck in there that I wanted to get out before I ran it through again. There, I think that's everything. So if you are watching this, I would love to hear from you. Love to know which one of the cards was your favorite. If you love using vellum. There, isn't that sweet? I love it. Let me toss this back into the package. I'm starting to get a little paranoid because I recently lost a very important die. And it's because I don't always put things away right away when I should. I'm hoping that it fell on the ground and... Oh, why can't I move this? There. That it fell on the ground. And if I just look under my furniture, I'll find it. That's what I'm hoping. If it got into the package of another... If it got into a different package that it didn't belong in, it might be forever before I find it. I'm also tempted to go through the trash. I have a little trash can, but then I keep a big bag in my room to, oh, I like that. And I just constantly empty it, and then when the bag gets really full, then I take it out. So this bag's been here for several months now. So if I accidentally picked it up and threw it away, I'm thinking it would be in that bag. Oh no. Okay. So with my stamped one sheet wonder, the embossed vellum, and then this is going to go on here, and then look, you can see that other image underneath, and then this happy birthday is going to get tucked right in there. I'm going to kind of center that. Yay. So just like with the others, I'm gonna glue the die cuts onto the vellum first, but this can go ahead and go down, and then I can use a piece of my stamped background on the inside as well as a little accent piece. I want to do this with dimensionals. I might like to, but I could do the flower with dimensionals. Well, you know what? Could I do both? I could do both. Talked myself into it. Alright, so this is going to go fairly... Trying to go for the middle, and then like in this third, so you divide this in, there's a third, like if you were to fold this up into thirds, you would have a line here and a line here, and when you go for those lines of thirds, or in the intersection of the both horizontal and vertical third lines, which would be about right here and here, that's very visually pleasing. Your eye is drawn to those positions. So if you're taking photographs or doing a layout, you'll notice that that's kind of the sweet spot for where you put your focal point. And you don't always have to go in the intersection of the thirds, but you could just use one of the third lines. Okay, so this a little bit is going to be on top of the like that. So I had a little bit of glue under the stem there. Okay, I like that. I like that. All right, so now this is going to go in here. Ooh, I really didn't do this in advance. I just kind of had the idea and I like it. I like the way it turned out. So I'm just putting the glue underneath where you won't see it. And yes, it will be a little bit floppy around the edges, but that does not bother me. Okay, and then to use another one of the featured products, I'm going to add some of these pearlized dots. I'm going to zoom in so you can see how they work a little bit better. Now see those peaks? They will settle right down and these will look very round. So I can add multiple dots. Isn't that cool stuff? How many did I get? 6? I'm going to put one more right up here. So you can make them different sizes. Now, it does take a long time to dry. So I can't do this inside, which is unfortunate. Let me clean this off and then I'll do the inside, but I won't be able to put the inside into the card until that dries, because I wasn't thinking. So if you have found this video to be inspirational, I hope that you will leave me a thumbs up and a comment. I would also be very grateful if you would subscribe to my channel. And if I ever get my live videos figured out, if you hit the notification bell, then you will be notified when I go live, which is always fun. It's always fun to chat with fellow crafters on the live videos. All right, so let me grab my trimmer. And I think all of my white pieces that I've prepped are still a little bit large. So I want to cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then that piece that I cut off, which is right here, should also be, yeah, it's also 4. So I'm going to cut off about 1 1/4 inches. I know that's kind of a lot, but it'll show so much of that flower if I do a big chunk. I could also cut it apart and space it, put some space in the middle, but I think I'm just going to go with that. If you had a little strip of the blue, balmy blue, or a little strip of rich raspberry, or polished pink to go across the middle of it, that would be cool too. All right, so I'm just going to very carefully see those points have already settled down. So then this will go in here like this. And let's see, is there other Yes, there is wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that as well. That is a nice thing about this Peaceful Moments is that it has kind of an outside and an inside greeting, or you could just do both on the inside. But I like that I have the option to stamp a greeting on the inside also. That's a really nice feature to a stamp set for me, a greeting stamp set. Okay, grabbing that rich raspberry out again. If I had another set of hands, they could hold that open for me while I glued this in, but I don't have another set of hands in here. So I'm getting quite a stack. It's about to tumble. I can see this. Alrighty. So that is going to go inside. Let me back up the camera a little. Didn't realize I was so bunched in. Hopefully I was in camera for all of that. And then here is the other one that I did with you, Love Never Fails. And so I just hope that I've inspired you to use some of these products that are on sale this week, on sale until tomorrow, the 21st. All right, and everything's linked, and the hostess code is already linked there too. If you choose to click on that link and purchase from me, I would love to be your demonstrator. Also, if you have any questions about Stampin' Up! Or joining Stampin' Up!, I would love to talk to you. So until later, bye. Happy crafting.